Welcome to Puy de Fou. We're near the Vendée in France. Yeah, it's a maritime feel to the start then. It's the big one, the Tour de France 2011. Live right here with the presentation of the teams just for you. So this is what we've got to deal with. Goodness me, it's the start. Can you possibly believe it? And they're rolling in already. Be kind of an informal feel to this, but we're going to be catching up with the Europe car boys first. Katusha, Sawyer, Sauerson, and the rest of our contenders here. 22 teams, 198 riders, and we're about to meet them all live right here on Eurosport. Well, what a backdrop we've got. Puy de Fou, almost like a film set build, you might say, in the Vendée in France. And Europe Car are our boys right now being brought to your attention. Team principal, Arashiro of Japan, but Anthony Chateau, Cyril Gauthier, Vincent Jérôme, Christophe Kern, Alexander Pichot, Pierre Roland, Sébastien Turgeot, and of course Thomas Voeckler, who will be the French focus, I think you might say. Enter the gladiators then, as they come into the amphitheatre here. Thomas Voeckler, the French champion, will be our leading light, one assumes, from Europe Car. Team Katusha are here as well. Leading is in third place. It'll be one after the other after that. And Francis Tiger are actually doing their own filming here. Cofidis maybe could shine a little bit brighter than they did last year, the men in red, but yet again that they've been given the nod. It is a French event after all. And if you're wondering where the crowds have come from, this incidentally is the most populous tourist destination after Disneyland Paris. Tell you what, here are the gladiators and here are our presenters right now. Stefano and Guillaume are our hosts.
Un chaleureux accueil à cette grande famille du cyclisme mondial présente aujourd'hui au Puy du Fou pour l'ouverture.
Well, a huge family, of course, of cycling coming together, bringing you the 22 teams presentation. And here's Willie.
Si on s'est pas trompé, ça fait 198 coureurs.
Well, 198 riders here. We'll be going through each and every other. It should be 198. Let's hope nobody's fallen over as they approach here. And there is another man here, the soul of the Tour de France, Daniel Monjas. Daniel's taken a trip here. He's well known for every single stage as the on-site caller, and he's going to be introducing everyone to us. He'll be ruining that trip. Well, the Vendée and the Tour de France, it's an old story, an old relationship, this, is it not? It's the fourth time that we've been here, says Daniel, and the third time here at the Puy de Fou as well. Well, this is the department in France, the region that organises more cycling than any other. There's a real culture of cycling here. And if we're here today, then it's thanks to their efforts that bring us here again and again. And Philippe de Villiers gets our thanks. He's the regional governor, if you like. There he is.
Présentation du Tour de France, le 98e du nom. Alors, on s'est gratté la tête pour savoir quelle équipe allait rentrer la première ici.
Well, we're just about to meet the teams who are going to come through here, one after the other.
Première à rentrer dans cette arène du Puy du Fou.
So,
on va pas dire.
Voilà, on va pas dire et surtout on profite.
So we've decided to introduce your own favourite team here, Daniel. So what are your ideas for the Tour de France before we actually meet them? Well, they all start equal in my mind, to be honest. How dare you accuse me of having favourites? I am entirely neutral on the Tour de France, so there won't be any bias, he says. It's a little bit of joshing, clearly. We've got the best riders in the world here. There are many favourites to win stages along the way, and a lot of candidates, and I hope, and I'm sure, that we're going to have some French riders featuring very high up this year, he says.
Alors je vous le disais, La Vendée, Daniel vous l'a dit, c'est la 4e fois que le Tour de France prend.
So there you are, you've met the man who's going to be gabbling while we're gabbling. Danielle will do the job. And here come Europe Car on their green chariot. So Europe Car entering the arena here. I think it's time to bring in Brian Smith. Brian, what a backdrop.
This is fantastic. I've seen some team presentations in my time, but this is quite spectacular.
So team favourites, of course, Thomas Voeckler is always going to be there, French champion, full of smiles. I think we're about to have a brief word with him as well. So for the last 6 years, they've been busy, had a good season so far. And Thomas Voeckler, I think, is going to have a brief word with us. He's certainly next to one of the lovely Athenian ladies. Your thoughts about Europe Car?
Pretty much try and go for King of the Mountains, I would suspect, from this team, and be aggressive and pick up some stages. I don't think they've got riders maybe for the sprints or maybe for the overall, but definitely a very aggressive Tour de France for Europe Car is expected from this team.
Yeah, they've been very much part of breakaways, that kind of thing, always showing themselves towards the front of any peloton that they care to, and of course there's nobody more popular than Thomas Voeckler himself.
Oh, it's great. He just finished in bronze medal position in the recent French Championships. A great defence of his title, but he's a magnificent rider, and his team live off him, and if they're just half the rider Thomas Voeckler is, they are going to be very aggressive in this race.
Cyril Gauthier also getting a huge round of applause. All French, incidentally, apart from Arashiro, who I think might well be the last one that we get introduced to here. Voeckler are always primary in their minds. First Tour de France for Johan Genet along the way here as well. Well, 4 times in the Vuelta. Vincent Jérôme, first Tour de France for the young man as well.
Yeah, there's a few first in the Tour de France for a Europe Car team, and Jérôme has ridden well in some of the semi-classics at the start of the year.
Christophe Kern, Dauphiné stage winner, of course, and a man who could well shine brightly, especially when it comes to some of the lumpy stuff. He's a big powerhouse and a great supporter as well. Well, Pierrick Kemeneur, he's a Breton who provided the likes of Bernardino along the way. So, yes, watch out for him as well as a youngster. Pierre Laurent. Well, Magic 21 for him. That was his finishing place in 2009, so hoping for more of the same. And Sébastien Turgot, Turbo Turgot they call him sometimes, a bit of a pocket rocket here as well. And Dominique Arnaud and Ismaël Mautier. It's a good team, isn't it?
No, it's a good team. It's from this region, sponsored by Vendée, so the first few days are going to be aggressive for them.
I'll just like to say thanks to the public and the supporters, he says. I'm very proud here to be introduced first here, and of course we will try and do our best, naturally, for France. So 8 successes since the start of the season, and a couple of the Tour de France as well. No, it's never easy, he says. Nobody's going to win this easily. Our goal is obviously to reach Paris with a feeling that we've given everything out there. We'll see what happens. Many goals for the teams. Well, we know that we're not going to win the Tour de France, so we're going to be trying for something else. We're going to be attacking as much as we can, which kind of bodes exactly what you were saying, Brian, that it's going to be the mountains for them.
You never know. You never know in the Tour de France. We've seen it before, and Voeckler has had the yellow jersey, so they might not win the Tour de France, but they've got a chance of getting in one of the jerseys.
So, all Russian look to Katusha. They're not exiting the borders at all this time by. Yes, a fascinating look to Katusha. Some absentees, I think you might say, as well from this lineup.
Yeah, well, they've gone all Russian. That's not really a surprise. They've got the new Russian champion in there, Pavel Brut. Vladimir Karpets is probably one of the riders that would get up there in overall, but definitely I'm very interested in seeing 193 Galimzanov up there in the sprint, see what he can do in his first Tour de France.
Yeah, the young lad Dennis, that will be fantastic to see him go well. Vladimir Karpets. Curtains for Carpets, a great David Duffield line of years ago. Let's hope it's a better run for the 30-year-old now. He's 12th in the Tour de France in 2009, don't forget. Yes, Pavel Brut, a real brute as well, a real offensive striker, I think they might actually say. Yes, a man who likes to go from the front, and you can see he's wearing the Russian champions jersey as well. Second on the Liège-Bastogne-Liège, don't forget. So he knows how to fight. Yeah, a real man for the classics. In his second Tour de France, Vladimir Gusev.
Champion olympique à Athènes, champion du monde de contre-la-montre espoir et junior. Il a remporté le
Athens champion and junior champion. And time trial champion, and of course will be wearing that national jersey when it comes to the time trial. Michael Ignatieff as well. Vladimir Isachev as well is here. Galimzianov, I always have difficulty. I'm waiting to meet him. Golubnev, great guy. Yes, Galimzianov will be there in the sprints. Hope we can catch up with him at the end of the day. It's going to be a tough call. Egor Silin done great things in the juniors. He's taken a big step forward this time by.
Ils viennent du VTT, excellent puncher, champion du monde espoir en 2005, 27 ans pour Yuri Trofimov.
Trofimov, a big puncher, good time trialist as well. They're looking good for this time trial. Maybe that's where they're thinking to open their account early on stage 2 as a team.
Oh, for definite. They've got a good sprinter in Galimzanov, and definitely good team time trialist there. And one of the directors, Dmitry Konishev, very experienced rider, good friend of Sean Kelly, but this is a guy that they're expecting to get up there in the top 10.
Well, yeah, a lot of supporters here. You're in an all-Russian team. What's your motivation? Well, for us, it's a huge pleasure. It's the first time in history that we're a full Russian team, and so it's a big first for us. A lot of pride as well. So what's your main goal on this Tour de France, Vladimir? Our goal is, well, I don't know. It's a team, obviously. It's going to be a team goal. We want team success overall, and overall team classification, why not? Katusha, yes, not the prettiest of outfits, I've got to say, but an impressive team nonetheless. And when it comes to the time trial, just watch out for them. Waiting to see who the mystery man is with the helmet on. We'll have to wait for that. Some redesigns, clearly, and some of the cycling helmets that are being used. Soya Sun up next, a team that kind of punch above their weight. They've got the wild card here.
Yeah, no surprise. They're a French outfit. They've, led by the director sportif, or the owner of the team, Stefan Huller, is a good rider in the past, and a great mix of talent in here, including Jérôme Capel, who could get into the top 10 in this year's Tour de France.
Look at that as well, all French. Doesn't get better as far as the audience are concerned for this. As you can see, an absolute sellout in the arena here, despite the fact that they've kept it under wraps. So, Jérôme Capel, TNBT next to his name, the next big thing. Well, we've seen him before. It's his second Tour de France, but the best young rider, no less. Fourth participation. Arnaud Coyot.
Champion de France junior en 2007, son cœur doit battre très fort. Premier contrat pro en 2010.
French champion.
À 21 ans, c'est le plus jeune.
21 years of age, youth of course.
Anthony Delaplace.
Anthony Delaplace. Jimmy Egoulevent is also in the team. Jérôme Galland, Jonathan Hiver, Fabrice help me with this one. Jean Desboges, don't know which part of France he was from. Laurent Mangel and Yannick Talbardon.
4 mois plus tard, il va courir son premier Tour de France. Jérémy Galland.
Jeremy Galland in his opening Tour de France. And a sprinter, Jonathan Hiver, up next. Done well in the Tour of Andalusia. There he is. Quick man. Fabrice Genebauge up next. His first order as well. A lot of debutants here for Sarr.
Ses qualités lui permettent de passer un peu partout et surtout de
Mangel.
Sur une épreuve de 3 semaines. À 30 ans, il va disputer son premier tour. Laurent Mangel.
Again, another debutant. A lot of experience to be gained here, I think, Brian.
No, definitely the French team's given some debutants a chance to show themselves, and you know, I think it's great to see in the Tour de France and as well as Europcar, this team is going to try and get in the mix and I think their best chance is probably for one stage. If they can one stage, I think they walk away with their heads high.
Stéphane Hulot and Nico Guil are their team principals. Jérôme Coppel here. He's the veteran of the team. Big French team, but a lot of people talk about you a lot, but of course a lot of pressure here. He says, I'm here to discover the Tour de France, really. And yes, I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot of beautiful moments here.
Un peu des deux, même si c'est plus l'excitation qui
Well, is it a pleasure or is the burden of expectation here absolutely huge? Obviously, we're happy to discover the Tour de France here. Yannick Talbardon have been riding other things, other big tours like the World Tour, and so we've got some experience out there, he says. We're not as inexperienced as you might think. There's Jimmy Casper clearly gone. And so we move on to the Movie Star boys. They've got more of a history than you might think, Movie Star. It's Case Depin in all bar name. And yes, they've had some big players throughout the history of this team. That's kind of evolved, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've come from kind of Banesto days, Case Depin, and now Movie Star. And this is the perfect theatre for them. Yeah. You know, they've got a mix of talent here in this year's Tour de France, and Arroyo is a former pink jersey holder in the Giro d'Italia, so he'll probably go in there leading, and Rojas and Vitoso, 2 good sprinters.
Yep, there it is, quite a mix. Excellent climber. Lever as well, did well in the Giro. He's playing for the overall ranking. David Arroyo, certainly the best capable of doing it in the GC. He's from Costa Rica. He's 25 years of age. André Amador, which is interesting because he's actually not on my start list. There's a few changes coming up here. Won a stage last year. Rui Alberto Costa from Portugal, after a good run on the Tour of Switzerland. Emmanuel Elviti is here as well. Twice a Spanish champion on the road. Ivan Gutierrez. Yes, not his favourite event, the Tour de France, apparently. Bernard Zausti, one of the good rulers here. Vasil Kirienko as well, the Belarusian.
Il a remporté aussi le classement général de la Route du Sud. Deuxième Tour de France pour le Lituanien Vasil Kirienka.
Yes, won the Vasil as well. And
il vient de devancer Alberto Contador pour devenir le nouveau champion d'Espagne.
And he's replaced Alberto Contador as the new Spanish champion. And looking for the green jersey. Jose Joaquim Rojas, certainly one of the quick men here, Brian, as well as Francesco Ventoso.
Oh, definitely, they've got two sprinters. Rojas can get up the climbs. Surprised he's not wearing the Spanish champions colours or anything like that. Kirienka, a great rider and ruler, but it's a good team. And Tosti is in there. He was actually with Xavi Tondo when he had his unfortunate accident. So a lot of respect for this team. They can be up there in the mountains for definite, and also in the intermediate stages with uphill sprints.
Here's David Arroyo, special Tour de France for you, great moment for you. Obviously we're going to be trying our level best out there.
Voilà, ils ont beaucoup d'envie, beaucoup d'ambition. Et David, à titre personnel, para ti personalmente,
well, we've got a lot of ambition amongst the team, and also personally, I want to do well here. Second in the Giro last year. What's your goal here? Well, the goal of the team is to win stages.
David va voir comment va être sa forme. David, merci, gracias, muchas gracias a toda l'équipe.
And I'll basically see how my shape is along the way. So David Arroyo, team principal from Movistar, good to see them as well on board here. Next up, it's Vacansoleil. Again, a team that kind of punches above its weight on a regular basis, Brian.
Oh, they've over the last couple of years they've been very aggressive. That's the way they ride. Michel Cornelisa, the DS, gets them to ride that way, and they come away with success. They have been moving up this year to Pro Tour, and they maybe haven't been as aggressive as over the last couple of years, but they're getting their act together, and you can see from Tour de Suisse they've got some good talent there.
Very much so. Borut Bozic, the primary sprinter, surely. We'll be meeting him next. Romain Fayeux, though, can never be counted out when it comes to the sprints as well. So a couple of fast men here. Dutch debutants then on the Tour de France, and good to see the Vacansoleil boys coming to the fore, because it's Romain Fayeux is team leader. Getting the ripples of applause here from the those shrouded underneath some of the sunscreens here, and as you can see, the weather absolutely spectacular in the Vendée region. Let's hope it continues. Borut Bozic for first Tour de France for the Slovenian. Personally speaking, I want to keep an eye on Bozic. He's been looking very good, hasn't he?
Oh, he's a strong rider, and especially in the stage 1 and stage 4 with uphill sprints. Maybe more in the first stage, but definitely a good prospect. But that guy, Thomas de Gendt, he is one of the strongest men in the Tour de France. Uphill, downhill, he can just go. So a lot's expected of him as well.
Yeah, the only thing he's not carrying is a weapon, to be honest. Unbelievable. So attacking riders as well. Johnny Hogeland is one of those, a big puncher out there.
À 33 ans, ce Belge est un nouveau venu sur la grande fête de juillet.
33 years of age now, Bjorn Leukemans. But again, product of the Kermis system, so really knows how to scrap on some of the lumpier courses in particular. The baroudeur, a fighter, Marco Mercato from Italy. It is an aggressive lineup, isn't it?
Very aggressive. These guys are going to get in amongst it. Mixed nationalities here, but I'm pretty sure they'll be looking at, not just one stage, but they'll be looking for 2 or 3 stages in this Tour de France.
Wout Bartels, a debutant on the Tour as well. It's the same deal for Rob Reich and Lew Wester as well. No, Lew Wester's been here before. So, Rob Roy, they're calling him. I'm not surprised that's how they is Reich. R-U-I-J-G-H is the spelling. They'll call him Rob Roy. You don't mind that, do you?
No, he's a battler team, so he's a battler. So yeah, he'll be fine.
And Lew Wester also on board here. Exploring directors, Hilaire, that's Hillary to you and me, Van der Schuren, and of course Michael Cornelis. There they are. Watch out for them, particularly on some of the punchier stages here, and there's plenty of those, particularly in the massive Central. Let's have a word. Romain, going to be trying to wear the yellow jersey? Well, I'll give it a go. But I hope that the first stage victory for me will come fairly early on. So, it's special for you boys to be here, Vacansoleil. We hope we're going to see a lot of you each day. Yeah, we don't have anyone here for the overall ranking, so we'll be going for the sprints every single day, that's for sure. So if it's going quickly, you're going to have to come and look for us, he says, because we'll be out front. There is a reward this year for the most attacking guys, and I'm going to be amongst the most attacking guys. And Roman Fia, yeah, you are known for that, aren't you, over here? Absolutely, and I don't mind living up to that reputation, he says. So Vacances Soleil, done and dusted. We met 5 teams. There's plenty more still to come. Do stay with us here. So Soyasun, Katusha, Europe Car, Movie Star, and Vacances Soleil already done. Next up, it'll be Covidis, Oxyzel, Prestigia, and Astada.
Bonjour, je suis Philippe Gilbert. Suivez-moi tous les jours sur le Tour de France 2011. Je serai pour vous l'œil d'Eurosport dans le peloton.
Experience the Tour de France with Philippe Gilbert, live on Eurosport.
Festina, official timekeeper, the Tour de France.
From the moment you start your journey, to the adventure it becomes. From the inspiring architecture, to the discovery of traditions. From nature's finest moments, to the feeling of being lost amongst them, for everything Romania has to offer. To the experience you'll take away. Romania, explore the Carpathian Garden.
Look out for Eurosport's football specialists, Anna, Sarah and Michelle, right there on the pitch to give you the full picture of the FIFA Women's World Cup. The Daily World Cup Show from June the 26th to July the 17th, live on Eurosport.
Welcome back. The party goes on. We're meeting the teams here of the Tour de France. Don't worry, they're not on top of the horses here. No, they're saving themselves for the bicycles. And the bagpipes ringing out in true near-Breton fashion. They do have a few. Confidence then it will be up next after this brief show to cover the intermission here. We are meeting the teams taking part in this year's Tour de France. I think they may well be coming up from the dungeons here where the gladiators normally arrive and they set the lions on them.
I don't understand why they've never done this with every team.
They're saving it for Covidis, the men in red, mimicking the blood-spattered uniforms of the gladiators that could have performed in a place like this had it not been built in 1977. So here they are, Covidis then. Rein Taramé, always going to be there. Samuel Dumoulin, most definitely as well. The puncher, there he is. The pocket rocket. Can you see him? 5'2", eyes are blue, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, he's the third from the left. He's the smallest rider in the Tour de France, but
well, he's got some competition here as well. So Rein Taramé, also not the biggest boy out there, but yes, you can see Samuel Dumoulin there. Looks like he'd make a good weightlifter, actually. Good temperament to be in an escape. Michael Bouffaz next up. It's everybody's favourite. Here he comes. If you like him, put him in your pocket, take him out. Samuel Dumoulin! With a stage win already under his belt a couple of years ago into Nantes, I think, in 2008. Leonardo Duque, the Colombian as well. Could be a climber, but he's actually a sprinter. Leonardo Duque can mix it in the lumpy stuff as well, though.
27e pour son premier Tour de France en 2010. 4e meilleur jeune cette année-là. Il a préparé son tour sur les routes de Paris-Nice et sur celle du Tour du Luxembourg, le Français.
I think this is Julien Alvarez. It is indeed Julien Alvarez. I wasn't quite sure because his palmarès that he was read out there just didn't match my own. But he's here.
On a ça dans les gènes. Il prend le départ de son premier Tour de France pour découvrir,
So from a famous family in France, Tony Galopin, galloping over the lumpy stuff, I'll be bound. They've sent a decent team here, but we're going to be looking for escapes really rather than anything else from this one.
Well, I'm not too sure. Taramay is definitely someone that they want to get in the top 10, but the rest of them, stage wins for definite. David Moncoutier here, he is a rider that could definitely win a stage in the Tour de France.
Well, as you can see, Vino and the boys about to come and join us for Astana. I think they're going to be the team that we meet in a wee while. We've got Euskaltel up next, Francis Viger, and then Astana to come here. Tristan Valentin is here, David Moncoutier as well. Always a good feature. There is Tristan Valentin and Romain Zingler as well. Now, Cofidis, they had a bad tour in 2010. I think their best result was Purial, who finished in he got a top 10 finish, but that was about it. That was their best result. It wasn't a great one. They've got to take a bigger step forward this time, haven't they, Brian?
They have to. Whether they do, I'm not too sure. I think one of the brightest prospects is Taramay, and possibly Dumoulin or Duc for one of the uphill sprints finishes. So, but I don't think they'll have a great Tour de France.
So here's Taramay. We know you're a shy bloke, but what are we going to see from you on the Tour de France? Are you going to be up there? Oh yeah, we'll try and be offensive, he says. We want to win at least one stage, and we've got the skills to do that. So, how would you introduce this Cofidis team to everybody? Well, you've got Samuel Dumoulin during the first week, maybe Tony Galopin. Ryan Taramay can have a look out there as well for maybe a stage win and maybe a youth jersey as well. So, yeah, we've got plenty to do out there. Thanks, David Moncoutier, then the shy guy, picked on by Stefan. Stefan's really gone into overdrive here. Next up is Euskaltel. Yes, what can they do in the mountains? There'll be plenty of orange fans by the time that we get to the Pyrenees. They'll be making the trip along from the Basque country. What else can we expect from them, though?
Well, an overall performance from Samuel Sanchez. He's not really been kind of shining too well at the moment. He's the rider just at the front there. Finished up there in Tour de France last year and is the reigning Olympic champion. You just see the gold in his jersey. But a ton of great climbers here, and they've decided to come with climbers to help Sanchez right the way through. And they've not got Caldo Fernandez for the sprints this year. So all for Sanchez this year.
It's a shame almost, because 33 years of age. He was fourth in 2010, don't forget. As you know, Olympic road racing champion in Beijing, hence the little gold accents as well. But you know, when it comes to the team time trial, it's a massive order for these boys to get themselves together. And he's usually just chucked right down the order, isn't he, Sanchez, because of it?
Yeah, well, it's lucky for them. The team time trial is only second stage, so they should be kind of fresh enough. 23 kilometers, so it isn't too long to lose too much time.
Énormément de grimpeurs dans cette équipe, Euskaltel. 8e participation, il a remporté le maillot de meilleur grimpeur en 2009, 33 ans. L'un des vétérans et valeur sûre de cette équipe, Egoy Martinez.
Igor Martinez, one of the finest climbers out there, and certainly within this team as well. They're known for going up the mountains, but I think their policy of only taking Basque riders really often plays against them. Alan Perez Lazon and Ruben Perez Moreno as well amongst these boys. Amit Zaruka, I think possibly one of those you might watch out for day by day.
I would think any of them, especially in the Pyrenees. They always try to target at least a stage in the Pyrenees, and you never know. They can come up with the goods. They've come up with a couple of stages in a row, and an earlier stage race this year. So I think it was wasn't it the Giro d'Italia? They won 2 stages, and they'd never won a stage for a few years. So you don't know with this team. They can either, you know, bring in the big stage wins, or you know, do a flop. And let's hope they lighten up in the Pyrenees and the Alps.
I was reading in Cycle Sport magazine that they've had no Tour stage wins since Iban Mayo and in Alpe d'Huez in 2003. That kind of says an awful lot, doesn't it?
But the history said that in the Giro d'Italia this year, and they popped up with a couple of stage wins. So let's hope they can do it here, because there's certainly certainly capable. These guys are specialist mountain climbers, but we're going to talk to the Olympic champion now.
So Samuel Sanchez, 4th last year. Dennis Menchov's not here this year, so you'll be after Contador and Schleck on the podium? Well, obviously, I'm going to try and compete here. But there's an awful lot of very, very good riders here who are able to be on the podium. But yeah, I'd like to take it to Contador. Why not? Well, for him, Contador will be in front. He says he's a little bit better. But yeah, maybe a little bit more difficult this year than last. What is your team strategy going to be out there? Bien de la contrarreloj por equipos, ver dónde nos deja la carrera y a partir de ahí. Well, we'll try and control everything as much as we can, especially in the mountains. But really, when we get to the Pyrenees, that's where we are looking. But we need to do a good time trial early on as a team. Well, don't forget this guy, says Samuel Sanchez. Yeah, one to look out for, but don't look too hard, especially after the team time trial. If they don't get that right, it could all go a little bit pear-shaped for them. Francis Desjeux, resplendent in white. It's not a surrender flag. They're here to do damage here. Marmadio's team. We'll see. Is it going to be a good year for them? Right.
Well, this Tour de France, they've got some good riders in there. Meersman finishing second in the recent Belgian Championships. They've got Sandy Cassar, William Bonney can get up there in sprints. Jeremy Roy always gets in the breakaways. So again, one of the stronger attacking teams in the in France, so definitely they're heading up the UCI Europe Tour at the moment. So some good riders in here, and just touching on the top 18 teams in the world.
So Sandy Cassar is hugely popular, as you've heard. William Bonnet up next, sprinter on the team. Yeah, the only true sprinter on the team. How much he'll feature, we'll wait and see. Michael Delage is here, though, and they kind of break ranks as far as but keeping it francophone with Gianni Meersman as well. We'll see him here in a moment. The Tour de France. For him. First Tour de France. Arnold Janson.
Il a ses supporters.
Sort of a Johansson, really. His first Tour de France then for the youngster. Gianni Meersman, who we mentioned earlier, the Belgian. Second place in the Belgian Championships. So runner-up for the little guy. One of the big climbers, Rémi Poiriol, is up next. Best climber in the Pyrenees. And why not Rémi Poiriol for the polka dot? You never know. Interesting to see that they keep the four-leaf clover on their backs these days. Used to be resplendent all over. Stage of the Welter in 2009. Second in the French Championship. Anthony Roux. Big lad, Anthony Roux.
Strong rider as well. He's ridden into form at the moment, and definitely one for the breakaways in the first week.
So a real baroudeur, which means a fighter, somebody that you want on the battlements. That's Jeremy Roy. Whether it be tipping hot oil on the big names is another matter.
Il va disputer à 22 ans seulement son premier tour dans la catégorie puncher lui aussi.
And Arthur Bishop, the last man we're meeting here. And it's Thierry Bricot and Frank Pinault are the sporting directors. Brief wave from the boys. How much we'll see from Francis Desjeux remains to be seen, but we've got Sandy Cassar up next. Come on, personal goal, Sandy, what is it? Stage win, another one? Well, that's my main objective. I want a stage win out there. It's the most important for me. 2010 won stage 9, incidentally.
Qu'est-ce qui vous inspire ce parcours de la 98e
I have no real hard plans for this tour. So what do you think about the course that we've got here, this Tour de France this year? Well, first week's always complicated. It's always tricky, strategy-wise. There's a lot to be decided then. There's a lot of opportunities with some difficult finishes. It's almost like running a classic every single day out there. FDJ, Francis Desjeux, off they go. And up next, Astana. No wonder they need a guard of honour here. They've had a rough time of things, haven't they, over there for a while? It's coming back their way, do you think?
Yeah, I've actually been on the Tour de France when they've had their troubles, but they're back with a good team. Vinokurov, really wants to go out. This is his last year, and he really wants to go out with a possible podium performance. And you've got Roman Kreuziger in here, the Czech Republic rider, and he was trying to go up there in the Giro d'Italia. Never really worked for him, but who knows? He's going to be a great help to Vinokurov. But De Gregorio, another rider, moved over, won a stage of Paris-Nice, and a very good climber. But the rest of them, very good strong riders. Vakus could be one that could get up in the sprints, because he seems to be sprinting well over the last couple of months as well.
Well, Alexander Vinokurov, if you suspend your question marks over him and his past, the 37-year-old is here for his final tour. Has he got the team behind him? Well, it's huge support, of course, by the Kazakhstan state here, and not a bad outfit in support of him. Ready De Gregorio, you've already heard about. I think possibly De Gregorio is one of those who can spring a surprise.
He's definitely a potential stage winner, but it depends on Vinokurov and what he does. If your team leader gets in the yellow jersey, and you have to hold back and help him out, and so we'll have to see how it's played out.
So we met De Gregorio, Dmitry Fofanov, Andrei Grivko, Maxim Iglinsky as well, also a bit of a puncher. Roman Kreuziger as well, you've heard that name again and again.
Yeah, he's a great rider. He comes from a very wealthy background, and untypical in cycling, and he's just not cut it. He was in the Giro d'Italia to try and get a podium, but it never really worked for him this year. It was a bit too hard, but he's here to support Vinokurov, and I think you'll learn a lot from him.
And chief food taster, Paolo Tirolongo there, the Italian. Knocks up a mean pasta, apparently, which is vital in a team like this. Thomas Vaitkus, the Lithuanian, is here, and Andrei Zaitz as well. When you look down the individual names, Brian, from Team Astana, it looks great. Can they function as a team?
It's looking like it at the moment. There has to be one leader in the team, and that's Vinokurov. He's here for his last performance, and I'm pretty sure Kreuziger was given his hand in the Giro d'Italia. So everybody's here for one thing, to try and help Vinokurov in his last Tour de France.
Well, big climbing talent, Kreuziger as well, her best young rider in the Giro d'Italia. And here is Vino. So you've said it before, you've dreamt about this yellow jersey. Yes, I want it for my personal collection. I'm missing this yellow jersey, and I hope that if everything goes well, I've got a chance of doing it. I just hope it goes well in the first week, he says. So you have a lot of supporters here in France. You can hear the response from them. The crowds love you. Well, it's true. I started my career in France. I love France and all the supporters here. I want to say thank you. It's always a pleasure to come back here and to ride in this amazing tour.
Alexandre, il a le public avec lui, mais il aura surtout avec lui un coéquipier luxe.
We'll take a break. Next up, it's Garmin HTC. Yes, Mark Cavendish is here, Quickstep and Lamprey. Let's just speak with Roman first.
Tour de France, right?
Sì, è giusto, siamo qua al Tour, che è sempre una grande corsa. Io penso che ho recuperato e che sono pronto a appoggiare.
Well, it's a big course. It's going to be very, very quick out there as well. And it's going to be, our aim is to take a stage, you never know. Hugely motivated. We will take that break now, thanks to Astana. It's Garmin, HTC, Quickstep and Lamprey up next after this short one here in Puy de Fou. Kind of a playground, really, if you want to go back in time, French-wise. We'll see you in a moment.
Tonight on Eurosport, the World Cup is at stake as the teenage Tyros go for goal in Mexico. The last winners were Switzerland. Now 6 other European teams will fight for the trophy. Tonight, the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, last 16, live on Eurosport.
Festina, official timekeeper, the Tour de France.
Truly Vivid by Super AMOLED Plus. Samsung Galaxy S2.
Sunday on Eurosport. The race for the World Touring Car Championship, where the Chevrolet drivers have been bossing the grid. But next, it's something different. A thrilling street circuit at Porto in Portugal. With Tiago Monteiro, the man to watch in the Seat. He's the local hero, and he won here last year. Sunday at 1300, the World Touring Car Championship from Porto, live on Eurosport.
Japan quality. Yokohama, your tire.
Welcome back. It's the flag parade. Those are the Cofidis flags coming round right now. Definitely the favourite team so far, with the biggest roar, I reckon, Cofidis, out of all of them just for now. Next up, we've got Team Garmin here as you join us live on the presentation of the teams for this year's Tour de France, the 98th running of the great event. And I didn't know Henry VIII came out. Nearly got showered in petrol. That's an expensive camera, my friend. That was a close moment, Brian.
Yeah, too close.
Yeah, we worried about the fans up Alpe d'Huez, but here some of the fire breathers, yes, causing us some issues. Monsieur Prudhomme, resplendent, a vision in mauve.
Notre présentation des équipes, regardez, c'est le dieu de Norvège, c'est le champion du monde, c'est l'équipe Garmin Cervelo avec...
Oh, the Norse god, here he comes, world champion. Guillaume losing it slightly, but why not?
Good on his here.
It looks like he's got, is he had a braiding job? Let's hope so. I don't know.
That's quite cool, actually. They've got a new team kit for the Tour de France as well. That's quite cool.
Oh, good, it is a wig. And there it is. It is a new team outfit as well, and looks fabulous. Garmin, here it is. Tour Ujot, of course, the great man, enjoying the spectacle.
Le champion du monde, Monsieur
World champion. There you are, Tour Ujot. He's giving it plenty, Guillaume, today. And appreciated by the great man himself. Quite an outfit, this.
Yeah, oh, his outfit as well. The world champion, but for me, I think he could be in yellow after the first stage, so he could be swapping that. But I'm so pleased with Tom Danielson being in the Tour de France, his first Tour de France, and you know, he's showing some great form, Tour de Suisse, and it's great to see him here. Julian Dean here. Not are we going to see Cavendish up against Farrar and Graipo and these guys, but the Julian Dean rematch with his Aussie mate from HTC.
Yeah, fantastic.
Renshaw.
And why not? There'll be plenty of elbows out there. Tyler Farrar can never be counted out of any sprints either. He's kind of been Mr. Second for a while. Why did you know, somebody like Mark Cavendish? There he is. Hello, Mark. Comes up once in a lifetime. But he's always there when Tyler Farrar is as well, which must be upsetting, even on screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of other sprinters out there, but Tyler Farrar, great guy, and coming back to form, winning stages, and I think he won the last stage at Star Electra Tour. So he'll be up there in the sprints for definite.
So Ryder Ajadal as well, David Miller, Johan van Sommeren, Christian van der Velde for the GC. Dave Miller, we've just mentioned, and David Zabriskie as well here. If you want to pick a phenomenal outfit, then you'd have to go an awful long way to find better than Garmin Cervelo. There'll be other teams that argue about that, but as an all-round mix, it's pretty handy indeed. Johan van Sommeren as well.
This is a talented athlete, Navardaskus, the Lithuanian champion. He just won that recently last weekend, but a great motor, and we'll be seeing a lot of him in this race.
I don't know whether that's mums and dads here. And Dave Zabriskie, finally. And it's Johan Wouters, of course, and Bingen Fernandez. They're our sporting directors. It's got to be Tour, hasn't it, that we have a chat with?
En français, ça va, me dit Tour. Français. C'était bien cette petite mise en scène là. C'était pourquoi le film Thor,
Well,
c'est le dieu en norvégien.
Stranger here
Oui, c'est
as
ça,
a god.
pour rigoler un peu. J'ai trouvé les cheveux en bas.
Oh, we did have some fun.
Elle était longue.
I found the wig and the mallet lying around here, and I thought, why not?
Oui, c'était très long.
So you're waiting a long time to win a stage with your World Champions jersey. Yeah, I tried it in the classics, but missed my chance. But I felt well. I feel fit.
On vous souhaite un excellent Tour de France et on va écouter David Miller.
I'm looking forward to doing it on the Tour de France. Well, we wish you an excellent Tour de France.
En français, David.
Dave Miller.
20 tours, je ne me suis pas trompé, 20 grands tours.
He's going to test his French.
Après dans les jambes, il n'y a plus rien dans les jambes après 20 grands tours.
20th Grand Tour, what's going on? Well, I don't miss anything. He misses roast dinners. Pleasure to be here, though.
Oui, le Tour de France, c'était toujours ma rêve quand
j'étais
jeune.
You come back for this applause every year? Well, it's always my dream to ride the Tour de France.
Oui, c'est la seule course où on a cette ambiance.
This is the only reason.
Pas toujours comme ça, mais je l'adore.
Merci, David.
This is the only race and the only event that we have this kind of atmosphere, so it's always a pleasure. I think they appreciated a roast beef talking français.
No, he's very well liked in France. Quite interesting they've changed Van Summeren for Navardaskus and let the young rider in. So a great team. But talking about great teams, he's another.
Sorry about Van Summeren, Navardaskus it is. But no doubt about this outfit here, and just look at that. Bach, Eisel, Goss, Martin, Pate, Renshaw, Van Garderen, Velitzel and Mark Cavendish. Fantastic.
On récupère ça parce que c'est Tour qu'il a perdu.
On l'a dit, c'est le roi des sprints. Il en a gagné 15 en 3 éditions du Tour de France, 27 en carrière sur les Grands Tours. Il a gagné 3 étapes du Giro.
Can't stop winning them, 15 in all.
Mark Cavendish.
The man, there he is.
Excellent rouleur, 3 fois champion de Danemark de contre-la-montre, 31 ans, le Danois Lars Bak.
Lars Bak, big man, the Danish champion.
On l'appelle le tremblant, lui c'est le spécialiste du dernier kilomètre. Il est autrichien, c'est le
specialist in the last kilometre.
8e participation sur la grande boucle, Bernard
8th time. He's been in the Grand Tour. Bernard Heisel, ultimate lead-out man.
Yeah, he's the man before Renshaw, so very important. This next man could be very important. Maybe Matt Goss can take a wee bit of the pressure off Mark Cavendish. This is going to be a tough tour, but they're going with a couple of good sprinters.
Well, new German star. I think he's been around. He could hardly call him new, but there's no doubt about it that Tony Martin, he's going to be there, isn't he?
I'm unsure. I think his best is going to be top 10. For me, TJ Van Garderen could be the big surprise in this team, and I'm pleased to see him in there. Danny Pate, another rider you see in the front quite a lot in this first week. The American swapped over from the Garmin team, but Renshaw is the man that caused that controversy last year. Great to see him back, and great to see him leading out Mark Cavendish.
Yes, provided he can keep his head in the right place, presumably. 3 headbutts along the way, and but with us, thank goodness.
Vous le découvrirez ici, TJ Van Garderen.
Quality in abundance. They can time trial as well. When it comes to the team time trial, will it be between they and Sky?
Yeah, I'm thinking HTC, Garmin, Cervelo, Leopard Trek are the 3 favourites for the team time trial. It really all depends, and that's why I think Hushoff, one of the favourites for the first stage. We've seen him up as a world champion, and if they do a good team time trial, they could be holding up for a couple of days.
You're the king of sprints, but this Tour de France doesn't look so easy in terms of sprints. The very first week is not that easy. How do you feel? Confident for that?
Yeah, it's not easy, but we have to make the best. We've got a strong team, and it doesn't matter how difficult it is, we have to try and win, so we try and win.
Bien sûr, il veut essayer de gagner. Il en a gagné déjà 15 sur ce Tour de France. C'est Mark Cavendish, le roi des sprints, alors qu'à côté, nous avons Tony Martin. Tony, you won that time trial in Grenoble. It's going to be the same time trial for the Tour de France. You're confident. You are targeting top 10 on this Tour de France, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. The victory in Grenoble makes me really confident. We have a strong team here, and I think we can win some stages here and also go for GC.
Well, they have ambitions. Ils sont très ambitieux, c'est normal. Ils sont les coureurs de l'équipe HTC Herald.
Goodness me, Tony Martin seems like he's fallen asleep.
Les voici. Merci,
maybe he
messieurs.
saves all his effort for the time trial, which he and his team are bound to do well at. We'll see. But of course, the main focus, as always with HTC, is Mark Cavendish. Thank goodness they didn't ask him where he's going to be riding next year. I thought that was going to be a question. He probably would have spat. Here comes Quick Step then. Sylvain Chavanel getting a great round of applause here, but I think the focus really is going to be on Bonin and Cherlek with these boys.
Yeah, Sylvain Chavanel, you get great motivation. He won the French Road Race Championships at the weekend, and he won it in style. But Tom Boonen is back. He's got Cherlek next to him to help lead him out. But I would say this is a stronger Quick Step team that we've seen over the last few years.
So who do you want to see? And the response from the crowd was Chavanel, of course. Ripping it off the back of Thomas Voeckler. But there he is, he'll be riding the tricolour out there, and plenty on their feet to welcome him with a round of applause. Well, why not a second green jersey for Mr. Tom Boonen? 6 stage wins to his name. Points winner in 2007. Maybe slightly off the boil, you might think, but never ever count him out. Gerald Cherlek as well, another quick man. They've got a proper sprinting formulation here, haven't they?
No, they have, but Quick Step is also here. He can get up some of the kind of medium climbs, so Boonen for the flat stages, I think, 5, 6 and 7, and stage 3 as well. But you've got Cherlek that can go over some of the mountains and challenge again. So, it's back up a wee bit like Matt Cavendish having Matt Goss. You've got that backup. But you've got Steegmans in there, Terpstra, 2 big, strong guys. And Jerome Pino will be a roundabout when we start climbing.
Well, the
only Frenchman in the team, Jerome Pino. Plenty of francophones here as well. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Not French in that tricolour. Yes, other than the principal, yeah, exactly. Big Belgian look to it, though. The Lowlands very, very highly featured here. 2 Dutchmen and 3 Belgians. Here, Steegmans, the big jugger, is also here. Winner, of course, on the Champs-Élysées a few years ago. I think 2, 3 years ago, in fact. Gert Steegmans had a mixed time of things then, since jumping between various teams, but is here, and so is Nicky Terpstra. Well, Richard Peters and David Bramati are the sporting directors here as well. Looking like a nightclub bouncer. And it'll be Tom Boonen and Sylvain Chavanel that we speak to now. Happy birthday, Sylvain. Oh dear. 32 years of age. Happy birthday from the Roman Amphitheatre.
Et merci à vous pour le cadeau. Il y a eu un autre cadeau dimanche dernier. C'est ce maillot, mais celui-là, on te l'a pas offert. T'es allé le chercher.
Thanks for that gift. And last Sunday, I knew another gift as well. This jersey, national French champion. Well, I'm going to be doing my best for the French people here, and I just hope that I could ride to the jersey and to the fans' support here. I want them in stages, of course, with this new and beautiful jersey here.
Tom Boonen qui est avec nous. Tom, cette équipe, on va l'attendre tous les jours. Vous avez un leader, vous avez des sprinteurs, vous avez des baroudeurs, tout est possible.
Tom, what do you think? We're expecting to see Quick Step every day out there. Yeah, our strength is to be out there, to have a possibility in every stage. Maybe not the most difficult in the mountains, but we will be looking to do something out there with our sprinters.
Merci Tom, le champion du monde 2007, le champion de France 2011.
We hope to be there every day, he says. I do like seeing his little rainbow accents, like a dog collar around his neck. Well, in the pink and in the carriage, it has to be Lampre. I think they're thinking of new ways of bringing him in, Brian. Do you think they're going to shoot one off the balustrades later?
Yeah, they're trying to do everything to show what they've got.
Well, Puy de Fou apparently means the town on the hill. It also means the land of idiots. Fou being.
That's why we fit in.
Foolish? Yeah, maybe. Absolutely. Yes, it's a film set town, started in 1977. It took a long time to build it. They built it properly to the old standards, but with central heating and flat screen televisions, that kind of thing. So you can actually live here, believe it or not. Anyway, this is Lampre.
Il a remporté le Giro en 2004 à l'âge de 23 ans, meilleur jeune sur le Tour en 2006.
Damiano Cunego, he's going to be a feature, we know that much. Alessandro Petacchi, though, will be there when it comes to the sprints, and provided he's not lashing out at those around him that he doesn't approve of, if he keeps it clean, it'll be something to behold. Lampre, always a pleasure to call, because they're probably the easiest team in the entire peloton to actually pick out, apart from anything else.
Yeah, pretty in pink, but Cunego showing well in the Tour de Suisse. Just getting pipped in the last time trial by Levi Leipheimer, but I'm pretty sure he'll be here to try and get up there in the overall. Petacchi, obviously, for the sprints, he's got Hondo to help him out. They've also got Gregor Ball, who can get over climbs and sprints at the same time, so a very interesting team, but they've come to shoot both fronts, on the sprint front and the overall front.
Well, Daniele Hondo, we just met a moment ago, wearing the German champions stripes on his jersey there, as you can see. Yeah, very much a man forgiven, I think. Denis Kostyuk is here as well. Mallory as well. Good team. Mattia Bono, who we mentioned. Gregor Boller as well. Good support. Alessandro Petacchi, though. Can he just keep his anger in check, I wonder?
Well, it's going to be very difficult for him. There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving, especially in these this first week of racing. So, but he's got Daniele Hondo, the rider on the left-hand side, big German rider, to help him out in the sprints, and you can't have much better than that.
Il Giro è qualcosa che hai
nel
sangue. Le Tour c'est quelque chose que tu as dedans.
Ma sì, indubbiamente da italiano il
Giro
d'Italia è importante, ma anche il Tour de France è una corsa importantissima.
Well, the Giro, of course, is very important. Damiano Cunego says yes, and I hope to do well here as well. Playing the long game, Damiano, this time by, is Alessandro Petacchi. Alessandro, green jersey last year. Do you think he fists on the handlebars this time? But no, he didn't say that. But, yes, I'm going to be going for it, he says. I'm feeling comfortable in some of the stages. But I'm towards the end of my career now, I know that. So this year is going to be difficult, but nothing's impossible. He's got some age behind him.
Age and experience. You know, it's good to see what the Italians done by not allowing some of the riders that have been caught in, you know, doping and doping pass. So they weren't allowed, and Petacchi's now looking at maybe, you know, the World Championships now at the end of the year in Copenhagen with riding for another country. So he's still got the enthusiasm.
We'll take a commercial break. We'll be back with not the lesser teams, but the next teams: AG2R, Rabobank, Radio Shack, Lucas and Sky. And of course, if you're ticking them off, we've still got Omega Pharma, Lotto, BMC with Cadel Evans, Leopard Trek with the Schleck Boys, and Saxo, of course, to finish off. And why not? Stay with us. We'll be back with more fun and games after this.
Tonight on Eurosport. Germany have a golden history, but 15 other nations are going for their goal of glory in the contest for the biggest prize in the game. Tonight, the FIFA Women's World Cup. Canada-France at 1800 and Germany-Nigeria at 2045. Live on Eurosport.
Welcome back to Puy de Fou. Yeah, it's celebration time here in the Roman arena. Not that ancient. We're not playing with an ancient monument here, built in the 1970s. Yes, unlike this lot, built much later. Next up, well, we've got liquid gas queuing up and ready, but as far as I know, it's AG2R who will be joining us in just a few moments' time. There we are. Oh, as if by magic. They didn't have hydraulics apparently in the Roman era, but they've got them now.
Yeah, this interesting. They've gone with obviously Nicholas Roach, the ex-Irish champion and son of Stephen Roach, the ex-winner in 1987. So they've gone with him for their #1 man. John Gadry was 25 for that position and it was a bit controversial last year, but good to see that they're backing the right man.
Absolutely. Wearing the Irish champions colours there, the Irish tricolour. Speaks perfect French, so expect him to be talking in French before you know it. Well, we're talking about punchers and attackers, and you'd be hard pushed to find a more enthusiastic one than Maxime Bouet. There he is, with his Mohican look. Huge amount of experience. Always looking for a podium within the team. Hubert Dupont. I think we've got Jean Gadret next, 4th in the Giro. He's making his fourth tour departure. The following challenged Jean Gadret. BBC apparently, ball by choice, shaves it off. That's the way he likes it. Big name, Sébastien Hinault, in his 4th Grand Tour here.
Une déchirure au mollet, c'est le mollet gauche, je crois, lors du dernier Dauphiné, a bien failli l'empêcher de disputer son premier Tour de France à 24 ans. Le Bordelais s'attaque à la plus belle
Tour de
course du monde avec
France,
l'envie d'y être performant.
24 years of age. Bel Kadri is here. And according to my list anyway, Sébastien Minard, Jean-Christophe Perrault and Christophe Riblon as well. AG2R, they've had some good runs. It's a team that always punches above its weight, and they have been significant, I think, by being involved in a lot of escapes and brought to our attention a lot in some of the minor tours that we've had this year on Eurosport.
Yeah, no, for definite. John Gadry's shown well, but I think you'll probably get that out of his system. He just missed the podium. He finished 4th in the Giro d'Italia. And that's his big goal for the year. Here, the whole team have to get behind Nicholas Roach, and I think they will. I think Nicholas is stronger. He's learned a lot, and you know, we saw him in the Criterium du Dauphiné, and we know he's got the legs. He just has to have the concentration when he gets passed by Cadel Evans in the time trial. So I'm pretty sure he's learned.
I think he has. He actually said then that, and in fact you pointed it out, Brian, I remember you doing it, that he needs that focus, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. This is his big opportunity. Here he is.
Est-ce qu'on peut aller chercher un top 10 sur ce Tour de France pour Nicolas Roche?
En tout cas, je suis
so he reached the top 10 on the Tour de France, is the question.
L'année passée, j'avais
I'm here with that hope to be in the top 10.
J'arrive dans des conditions
Last year I tried to do it.
mais je garde l'ambition et je pense que
this year's special conditions. He's obviously got the agreement of John Gadret to hand over his rear wheel if he does get into trouble. John, rear wheel, will you be handing it over? That's not the question, but yes, he's a good raider. We've seen that before, and I hope it'll be this year as well.
Vous avez été 4e de ce Giro. Le général, ça va être compliqué.
Are you still in good shape? You did the Giro?
Oui, c'est vrai que si je suis
ici, difficult for you to ride the Tour de France now. Well, if I'm here, it's because I've still got some energy in the legs, and I'm here to help my leader. Gosh, they really have had a big talking to out there to a stage win. So presumably, if he does get into trouble, Jean Gadret will be the first man to help out this time by. Shame it wasn't that case last time by.
Yeah, they've sorted it out. Vincent Lavenue, the DS there, so good to see. French team pushing with the Irishman Roach.
There we go. Yes, kind of an undiluted team, you might say, is Rabobank. They've had a very busy time of things. They had a big program in North America. They've been in not just taking part, but very much sending competitive teams to every single event that they've taken part in. Unlike some other of the bigger name teams, they always go for victories, don't they, this boys?
Oh yeah, I think it's very difficult when you become a tour contender like Robert Jasink is. It's very difficult to just prepare for the Tour de France, and you can either go one way. You can either go into races just for preparation and come up short in the Tour de France. But for Jasink this year, it has to be a podium to give back what he has, the team have allowed him to do. And he's got one of the best teams here, a very, very strong team to help him. And you can't get better with, Talingi, Tendam, Luis Leon Sanchez just won the Spanish Time Trial Championship, so he's coming to form at the moment. Lars Boom is in here, Malima, Neerman, Barredo, so a very, very good team here. Also saw Garati in there, so yeah, it's a very strong team for Jasink, but he has to this year, he can't become just a contender, he has to get a podium this year.
Well, there you go. It's a big ask and a big man with Lars Bohm on board as well.
Yeah, he's another one that can get up in some of the stages. He's got a fast finish, so you'd expect him. He can get up some of the climbs, but he's going to find it hard against the top sprinters like Farrar and Cavendish.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes you just have to play not a quiet game, but a clever game. And they've got some clever riders here. Bauke Malema there. Grisha Neerman, you'll see him in a moment, of Germany. But Luis Leon Sanchez, who'll come up next, is one of those guys who's always brilliant at judging a break. He's one of the wiliest riders out there, isn't
he? Yeah, he's a great rider. He's moved over to Rabobank after being with, the Castepan team, and everybody thought, it was a bold move, and he hasn't really done anything, but he's coming to form, winning the Time Trial Championship from Contador, so in Spain. But this is another great rider, Lawrence Tendam.
Yep, indeed, the Dutchman. And Martin Chalingi as well rounds off a very, very strong Rabobank team. You never know. If they play the long game here for Robert Jasink, it may well be that they come to the top of the team standings here. Whether Jasink will be the overall contender, we'll find out. He's going to speak to us in English, I think.
The national championship, what is your situation, your motivation now for this Tour de France? There's many expectations about you.
Yeah, of course, I feel really good. We'll try to do a really good general classification, of course. Also, the white jersey, of course, is a big objective for me. And we will see. The first week will be difficult, and in the end, we will try to do a real good GC.
Ouais, il veut le maillot blanc, il veut faire bien dans le contre-la-montre par équipe, et pour faire bien un contre-la-montre par équipe, il faut un bon rouleur, et c'est un excellent rouleur, Luis. Para Contrarro, usted es uno de la locomotiva principal de esta carretera, ¿no?
Well, the principal locomotive amongst the team, and as a Spanish champion, you're always going to be a main focus out here. Well, I'm here to hear Robert. I'm here as his teammate. We're all here to do well. You ask for a quote from a cyclist, and you get a quote from a cyclist. It doesn't have to be a very good one. They're all saying more or less the same thing, and why not? Fear of the mic is not necessarily a bad thing when you let your cycling do the talking. So we move on. Radio Shack here. It's quite a veteran look to this outfit.
They've got some veterans in here, but they've also got a bit of young talent there. Yannick Brakovic looks as if he's going to lead this team, and he won the Criterium de Dauphiné last year, and now he finds himself with all that experience of Chris Horner, Claude and Leipheimer, and let's hope and Popovic as well, let's hope they give him this support, because I think that's the next generation of rider, the man in the picture at the moment, but Levi Leipheimer, after winning the Tour de Suisse recently, let's hope they concentrate on helping that young man first.
Chris Horner here as well, podium in the Tour of California at 39 years of age. He is one of the, in fact, I think he's the oldest man within the team. 10th overall, though, last year, don't forget, in 2010, so knows his way around here. Markel Itzar, the Spaniard as well, could be a decent call for a fair run at the time trial as well, let's not forget, because of their experience here. And, of course, the fresh legs of some of the older guys will still be well within them. Andreas Kloden here, huge star, Paris-Nice stage winner, of course. 36 years of age now, second on the Tour de France a few years ago in 2004 and 2006, so he's been around the block as well. And so has Levi Leipheimer. Yes, so 37 now, the time trialer.
They have got loads of experience with Chris Horner, Levi Leipheimer, Kloden, Paulino, you could say that, Popovic, great, even, you know, directors, Dirk de Mol, the first director there, and Alain Galopin, you know, one of the most respected directors sportifs in France, so they've got loads of experience, and there's a lot expected. I just hope that they, you know, they look at the talent they've got and share that with Brakovic, because Brakovic is the next generation. We don't know where Radio Shack is going in the future, if it's staying in the sport or what's happening, but let's hope they give this young man a chance of it getting up there in the overall.
Well, team champions 2010, don't forget, and yeah, no Lance Armstrong at the moment these days. Yes, he's got his own issues to deal with back home, but he casts a long shadow, Lance Armstrong, over a team, and you kind of, whenever you say Radio Shack, you instantaneously think of him, and it's big boots to fill, I think. And well, team champions 2010, I can't really see them doing it again, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. They are going to speak to, I think it's Galopin.
You and Chris. Levi and Chris sont toujours aussi jeunes. What's your secret, Levi?
I love what I do.
J'aime ce que je fais.
Oui, j'adore le cyclisme et le Tour de France. Je pense que l'équipe Radio Shack, c'est une équipe.
Sorry, I should be translating this. Yeah, I love the cycling and the Tour de France, of course, and maybe on Sunday it'll be a day for us. You never know. The team time trial. Well, there's a lot of team contending for this team time trial, like Garmin, Sky. HTC. Well, the gaps will be short, some say, amongst the top teams. Thanks, Levi. Levi Leipheimer, another hugely popular figure, has been around for some time now.
Excellent français de la part de Levi, alors que la prochaine équipe elle arrive. Il a gagné 2 des 3 grands tours l'année dernière avec
Liquigas. Didn't have such a bad time of things last time by, but it's kind of pulling results out of the fire occasionally with the Liquigas team. Ivan Basso, their main hope.
Yes, he's the number 1. Number 91, Ivan Basso. Again, not really showing great form. Had a training accident in Mount Etna, and really his preparation, he hasn't really showed anything, and he's going to really do well to get in the top 6 this year. Going in the form at the moment, but you never know. He's getting a bit maturer now. You know, recognises what he can do. But he's certainly got a strong team. The team behind, including Sylvester Smith, the Polish rider, are here for one reason. It's just to help Ivan Basso.
Well, time trial national champion Christian Koren of Slovenia is here. Masic Bodnar, the Pole. Paolo Longo Borghini. There he is, one of the suavest looking guys on the circuit. Scrubs up well. Daniel Oss is here as well. There he is. Yes, Basso, 33 years of age now. Took the Giro, of course, in 2010, last year. We'll see. Petersky here. Some big names missing, though, from this Liquigas team that they could have brought here, Brian.
Yeah, I was thinking more on the sprinter side of things. Obviously, you're not going to bring Nibali and these riders, but you know, after the Giro d'Italia, because it's very difficult for a lot of the Italians to come to the Tour de France and have that same form. But looking down the list there, it's you know, Sabatini can sprint it, Oz can sprint it, but not with the best of them. So they've left their you know, a sprinter out at the moment, and you know, come here purely to see what they can do.
Well, there you are. It's gunning for overall. They're backing up Ivan Basso big time. And yes, have they left anyone behind is the big question. Certainly some of the sprinters. Alessandro Vanotti we've just seen, and it's Dario Maurizio and Stefano Zanata are our director sportif.
Petite. Un tout petit peu, mais Ivan va faire des progrès.
Too little, he says. So in English, I think. Italian. So you're returning to this tour. How's your preparation gone for this one? Well, I missed the Giro to invest everything in the Tour de France. We're running in this tour with a view to being up there, and I just hope for the best results I possibly can.
Jusqu'où il peut aller Ivan Basso sur ce Tour de France? Tu peux andare fino a che posto?
Bradley Wiggins waiting in the wings here. Or only thing missing is a trident and a shield. So how can you go here? Well, the Tour, you're always dreaming. I've dreamt of doing it here. I don't know if it's going to be possible.
Le Tour de France, c'est une course qui fait
and in this moment, I'm just happy to be participating, to be honest.
Tour de France 2011, mesdames et messieurs, Ivan Basso.
Ivan Basso. Well, big possibilities perhaps, but yes, a lot still to prove, Ivan Basso, and the team's been designed around him to give him the best support they possibly can. Whether that's a waste, we'll see. Next up, Sky, and then we'll be taking a break with the remainder of this year's teams. But first, Sky, of course, a team who've taken huge strides after quite a, well, not a lumpy start really. They've kind of hit the road very, very quick, and they've got massive ambitions. We all know that. They put the money in the right place, and Bradley Wiggins, they're standing tall, will he be by the time we come to the end of this one. It'll be great to hear from Bradley at the end of this line, but time to go through them. It's an impressive team.
Yeah, this is one of the best teams in the Tour de France. Bradley choosing to go with black shorts and black socks. He won that British Championships at the weekend, and he's showing superior form at the moment, and let's hope he can go all the way. He won the Criterium de Dauphiné recently, and this is one of the best teams that they've you know, to come to the Tour de France with, and they've got plenty of experience and horsepower, and let's hope Bradley can finish on the podium. But let's look at the other riders on the team as well, and I think it's so great to see Ben Swift. I think Swift has got a great opportunity. His first Tour de France, called up late, and showed well in the Tour de Suisse at the end, and he's a rider that can take a lot of the pressure off. Boasson Hagen, it was a wee bit of sickness before he came in here, so you don't know how he's going, but and Geraint Thomas, another motor for this UK team. So, but they've brought in, you know, these two riders this year, Uran and Zandeel, for the climb. So they are stronger, but it's great that this young man Ben Swift is here, and let's hope he can win a stage for Team Sky.
That would be something if he can. We've got plenty here. We've got Uran and Zandeel, of course, we'll be meeting at the end of this line, as well as Christian Nees. You saw Edvald Boasson as well. Juan Antonio Flecha, one of my favourite riders, is also here, bringing some great experience, and be a good guide for Bradley as well. But Bradley is where the main focus does lie within this team, there's no doubt about it. They may pick up some good results on some of the lumpier sprints out there as well, but really it's down to the big men, I think.
No, definitely they're pushing them both fronts on the sprint side with Boasson Hagen, but let's not forget Swift, and you know, looking to Bradley for the you know, for the overall overall. So this is going to be a great tour for the UK. You know, with Bradley Wiggins pushing for a podium position, Cavendish for the sprints, Ben Swift in there for the sprints, and Geraint Thomas, another person capable of winning a stage, and David Miller, of course, the Scot.
It's the first time for you on the road. C'est la première fois pour vous sur la route. Bradley qui a déjà été, lui, champion, mais du contre-la-montre.
That's right, yeah. You said it all.
J'ai tout dit, donc il n'a plus rien à dire. What's your main goal on this Tour de France? Quel est votre objectif principal, Bradley?
Just to get back to the same heights as 2009 when I was 4th. So I'd really like to be up there in the GC, and I've raced and trained for it all year, and obviously I won the Dauphiné, so I'm in a good place at the moment.
Et il voudrait rééditer ce qu'il avait fait en 2009, c'est-à-dire, bien entendu, essayer d'être 4e du Tour, rester sur sa forme du moment. Your last win in the Dauphiné, don't give you more hope? Ça vous donne pas plus d'espoir, cette victoire sur le Dauphiné libéré? A podium in Paris, you don't have this in your head? Un podium à Paris, vous n'avez pas ça en tête?
No, I think you know, that was part of the process and part of the plan, and obviously the Dauphiné is a huge win, but all my preparations have been for the Tour de France, so I feel I'm in a better place now than I was in the Dauphiné.
Et il a tout misé sa préparation sur le Tour de France. On va le suivre avec son équipe Sky, le champion de Grande-Bretagne, vainqueur cette année du Dauphiné. Je vous demande de raccompagner sous vos applaudissements Mr. Bradley Wiggins.
Bradley Wiggins, absolutely focused, and if you dare ask him a question, then answer it, he'll hang you out to dry. Bradley's in the mood for a battle, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the right place for it at the moment, but you know, on behalf of the whole of the UK, I wish him the best of luck.
Yes, most definitely. Fingers crossed for Bradley. It's superb to see him. Yes, as he said, doing more than just a podium. He's looking for the victory here, especially on the back of the Dauphiné. I think what Bradley's actually got now is the belief he can go all the way. Yes, well, do we share that belief? Quietly, yes. We'll be back with the remainder of our teams after this short break.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain.
There's a force at work across the world, helping businesses of all sizes grow to achieve their potential. That's the speed of yellow. DHL Express. Excellence simply delivered.
We believe that if love is a chemical reaction, chemistry has a good chance to make the world a more harmonious place. Chemistry works so that plasters end up loving the water. Families are less afraid of energy bills. And even cars and city centres get along better. That's why we don't just make chemicals, we create chemistry. BASF, the chemical company.
From the moment you start your journey to the adventure it becomes, from the unique culture to the discovery of friends, from the first look at the past to everything Romania has to offer. Romania. Explore the Carpathian Garden.
Festina, official timekeeper, the Tour de France.
Welcome back. Festivities not quite yet complete. We've got the none too small matter of 4 major teams still to come. Omega Pharma Lotto will be next. BMC and Keller Evans with Leopard Trek and the Schleck Boys, and then Saxo and all the baggage contained therein. So here is Omega Pharma Lotto. One of my favourite teams, actually.
Yeah, an interesting team. Gilbert, the Belgian champion, just you know, ride this first Tour de France. So you know, we're going to have to see what he brings to the team. He's very aggressive, and you know, stage 4 could be his. Van den Broek showing some great form in the Criterium du Dauphiné, and they've also got André Greipel for the sprint. So you know, pushing on all fronts, pushing on the GC, pushing on the sprints, and pushing on some of the lumpier stages.
Absolutely. Well, they can go all the way. They've got Philippe Gilbert as well. You want one of the meanest men in the sprint, possibly lacking just a little bit of pace on occasion, but when he's mooded to do it, yes, watch out. There's Jürgen van der Broek as well. Andre Greipel on the right-hand side of your screen here. He actually looks a lot softer when he's not wearing his helmet for some strange reason, but there you go.
Il fêtera ses 29 ans sur le Tour de France. Andre Greipel.
There he is. Yes, watch out. He is a prime, I think, to take that extra yard.
Yeah, well, they've brought, we've got Sebastian Langen here next up, former German time trial champion, and Jürgen Rollins, Marcel Seberg, Van de Walle, Van Dert, and Frederick Williams, and these are all big, strong riders. So it looks as if here they're expecting to possibly, take the yellow jersey and have a strong enough team to defend it, and also with a strong enough team for Andre Greipel to lead them out in the sprint. So this is one of the strongest Omega Pharma and the teams that went before that, strongest teams that I've seen in the Tour de France.
Yeah, I very much think so. I think they might well be the sort of big sleeper team, really. I know a lot of cycling aficionados know all about them, but it's a great combination, and when they're minded to do it, is this really Greipel's first Tour de France?
Yeah, because he's been in the team with Mark Cavendish, and you go there with one sprinter. He's a sprinter as well, so you normally don't go with just one sprinter.
It just can't. I kind of reboot my brain every time I say it, but yes, and you know what? He could well be a big feature, Greipel, when it comes to the sprints. Just watch out for him. I think they're one of the big calls for Green. We'll see. It depends on how well they go for these intermediate sprints, which are fascinating, Brian. They've actually added to the weight of those sprints out there, haven't they?
Yeah, we have to come here with a goal. Is it going to be the green jersey, or is it going to be the Stageman's?
Philippe Gilbert, number one in the UCI ranking. You're number one in the world. How does that feel? Well, I've got to feel proud, but I've got to remember as well that in a couple of weeks this could be different. After the Tour de France, I'll try and get that number one ranking, of course, again. But good to have it coming here. Was it a dream of yours? Yeah, obviously. It's exceptional to be number one. Since the start of the season, I've had some great results. Let's not forget. I've won some great classics, Liège, Bastogne, Liège, of course, Mr. Classics.
Flemish is not possible. English? Podium is possible in Paris.
We will try. The condition was good in Dauphiné, and I feel better for the moment, but it's going to be close, but we try everything we can.
Alors il croit au podium, les conditions étaient bonnes sur le
Dauphiné stage winner, of course, Jürgen van der Broek. And you never know, he's the man they're going to gun for the GC, and not really high up the many people's list, but I think Van den Broek could well be a huge feature. I think the cameraman's just fallen off the stage to the cheers of the crowd, incidentally. They're helping up at the moment.
Oh, he's showing some good form, definitely some good form in the Criterium du Dauphiné, so we'll just wait and see if he can take another step up. Finished up in the Tour de France last year, so a lot's expected of him, and he's got a strong enough team. Not too sure in the mountains, but I think it's just a part of getting him to the mountains and let him do his own thing.
BMC, well, the cameraman is attended to. Took a back step, unfortunately. Cal 11s then. Brent Buchwalter, Birgit, Hinkeby, Moynard, Morabito, Kinziato, Santa Romita, and Michael Shaw as well. Well. This as well is half of a very good team. Let's not forget that. They've built a massive team to support this man. He's coming here having been a runner-up on a couple of occasions and wants to get that extra step. Before it's time to call it a day, wearing the former world champions rainbows on his shoulder. Brent Buchwalter as well, great backup from the American. This is a team that is built to support Cadel.
Oh, most definitely. There's 8 riders here to support the man with the number 1 on his back, and for the team that is, and that'll be Carl Evans, the Australian, and these 8 riders are purely here for him. George Hincapie, and just pretty much for the experience. He's been there with Lance Armstrong in the past, so yeah, a team dedicated towards Evans.
George with the American accent to the top of his jersey. Amel Monard as well. Don't forget, Cadel Evans has kind of been let down in the mountains on occasions, because he's just, frankly, better than most of his team most of the time. Is he going to get the kind of support he needs when it gets lumpy?
Well, I think Evans is a strong enough rider to look after himself, but you know, there are a couple of riders in there, Santa Marito, you know, Moinard could help him there, but he hasn't got, you know, maybe some of the best climbers as some of the other teams have got, but I think Evans is that sort of rider, a wee bit like, you know, kind of Robbie McEwen is in the sprints. He can find his own way in the mountains, but you always have to have 1 or 2. He was missing, if you can remember, in the Criterium de Dauphiné, he had to go back for his own bottles, so let's hope he gets a better support, but definitely on the flat, to the mountains, he's got plenty of horsepower in that team.
If I can have you here for 2.
Fabio Valdato and Jean Lalonde.
Last year was bad luck. Twice
here we go.
In the 2nd place. Now it's time for more on this Tour de France.
Well, hopefully 2 times second makes you, yeah, hungry for more.
So we know you really plan. It's your target, this Tour de France. What's your feeling right now?
Oh, right now I'm very happy to be here. It's a beautiful start to the tour, and I'm looking forward to starting racing on Saturday.
And George, we were saying title, record holder of presence at the Tour de France, 16, like Joop Zoetemelk. That's legend of cycling, friend.
Well, thank you. I'm very honored to be here. I've gotten so much from the Tour de France. I've gotten my wife and family from France. I have a French wife, so I have a special feeling racing in France.
Voilà. Il le dit, sa femme, elle est française, et on le sait que Georges parle français. Et pour ce public du Puy du Fou, un mot de la part de celui qui va faire son 6e Tour de France. Georges, allez, un français.
Merci beaucoup.
Thanks, George. There's been some spectacular entrances made here, but Leopard Track have been put in a cattle cart. I'm not really quite sure what the expression is of emotions are, but there we go. Here we go. The ripple of applause, incidentally, during all that was the cameraman being helped to his feet. I think he was actually knocked out, so I hope he's going to be okay. I think it might have been Pierre Berard, one of our camera crew, but anyway, fingers crossed for Pierre. So, Leopard it is. Saxo waiting in the wings. Well, it's about the Schlecks, no doubt about it. Andy and Frank, there they are, numbers 11 and 18. But with the likes of Jens Vogt, Postma, O'Grady as well, they've got a very good team here. Maxime Montfort, Linus Gerdemann, Jakob Fuglsang, and of course, Fabian Cancellara. Here is Andy Schleck. Many people, for obvious reasons, believing that he's been denied yellow.
Well, I'm not too sure. I think this team is about one Schleck, and it has to be Andy. For me, Frank, I don't think has it to win the Tour de France, and he should concentrate on just helping his brother. And sometimes you come here that they're putting up Frank Schleck and Andy Schleck as 2, you know, potential podium positions, and for me, that doesn't really work. I know they're brothers and they got on really well, but they have to just go behind Andy. But you can't have much of a stronger team than this. This is a real strong team, but you know, good to see that they still kept the experience of Stuart O'Grady in here.
Il a fait un aller-retour en hélicoptère pendant la grande boucle pour aller saluer la naissance d'un nouveau-né. Je vous demande d'applaudir le Belge Maxime Montfort.
Maxime Montfort, it'll be Stuart O'Grady up next. Use Postma, don't forget the Dutchman. Frank Schleck and Jens Vogt right at the very end here.
Well, looking at this team, again, the first... It's a tough first start to this Tour de France. I know everybody's thinking, yeah, there's not many big climbs, big mountains, but you've got a team time trial, you've got plenty of... you know, a couple of uphill sprint stages, a kind of medium climbers day, another lumpy day to finish, but you've got 9 days in a row in this region, it can be difficult. You know, some small roads, some crosswinds near the coast, and that's why they've decided to bring a strong team here that can battle it out. Because I think I've said this before, and maybe one of the races of Swiss or Dauphiné that we covered, but there are going to be opportunities to beat Contador. There is opportunities in these 9 days to put them under pressure, and that's why they've Leopardtrek have brought a lot of horsepower here, because if they see an opportunity, they will pounce and they will ride hard in the front and split this race to pieces.
So in effect, a long time to wait to come back for a new Tour de France. A lot of prep for you as well. Yeah, we've been working all year long for these 3 weeks. But of course, it is the Tour de France. Everyone wants to perform to win. Every hour we spent training is for this, and the straw in the rain. And so this is our reward, to be here and to enjoy.
Comment vous sentez là avant d'attaquer ce mano à mano avec Alberto?
Well, we've been following your preparations on various tours. So what are your thoughts ahead of taking on Alberto Contador again? Yeah, I feel good. I've been doing okay. Everyone has huge expectations at the Tour de France, and I just hope I can live up to it. Fabien Cancellara. So, spectacular amphitheatre here for Gladiators. Any thoughts? Well, it's for me, it's the first time I feel at home as the Gladiator, he says. And I've got a lot of motivation for Saturday, he says. This is the first time for me that there's no prologue on the Tour de France, but we're still aiming for the yellow jersey, and why not for us?
Plus compliqué pour Fabien Cancellara parce qu'il aura beaucoup roulé pour son leader, pour ses leaders. Fabien Cancellara.
Thanks to the boys. So Leopardtrek, the Leopard as they like to be called, but Leopard. Thank you very much. And Saxo Guard with a guard of honour. The potato pullers have come out here with their black caps, and yes, the big pullers here. Does it get much bigger than Alberto Contador? Well, it depends on your view, to be honest. He's got a small matter of a Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling hanging over his head, which will be decided in August. And listen to the boos. He's going to have to get used to this, Brian.
Well, definitely. That wasn't very motivating for the whole team, but like anything, you listen. You do it with your legs.
Well, they're moving on.
They're laughing about it, so they are prepared.
They are, but he's grimacing, believe me.
Yeah, they've been prepared. They know what they're going to get, and you know, they just have to concentrate and focus on the job ahead of them.
Just to for anyone who doesn't know, Alberto Contador was tested positive after last year's Tour de France, and has since been, for microscopic quantities incidentally of a banned substance, and since then has been fighting to clear his name. The Spanish Cycling Federation have agreed to let him ride. He has come here to the Tour de France. We suspected it may well be that there would be a hostile reception. It started right here. It will be every day that Alberto Contador gets upon a podium, believe me. But when it comes to August, that's when the Court of Arbitration for Sport will make a final ruling as to whether he can indeed keep last year's yellow jersey, whether he has to hand that back to Andy Schleck or not. But it's quite a burden he carried through the Giro. He won the Giro, he's come here. And it's a shame that we have to talk over some great athletes who are riding alongside him here. Hernandez, Daniel Navarro, Benjamin Noval Gonzalez, Richie Porte, Chris Sorensen, Nicky Sorensen as well, Matteo Tosato and Brian van der Berg. And they've got to try their best as well to refocus themselves here.
Yeah, it's difficult, you know, when you stand as last team defending champion and, you know, your team leader gets booed, but, you know, you can either, you know, put your head down and feel embarrassed about it, or you keep your head up and use that as motivation. So I'm pretty sure Bradley McGee there at the end has got plenty of experience, and he'll be able to, you know, to shepherd these boys through these tough times and just kind of try and hide in the bunch for the first 9 days until we get to the first race day.
Bradley McGee and also Philip Modria look absolutely livid. Here is Alberto, and listen to the jeers already. Speaking in Italian.
Bueno, pues sí, es realmente
So
difícil.
it's unique to try and win twice like this.
Son 13 años los que,
Yeah, it's something
los que no se
complicated.
consigue una victoria como esta. Y la verdad
It's
que muy
been,
contento de estar aquí y voy a luchar al máximo por conseguirlo.
13 years without a victory like this to do the double.
It's
a very different tour. After the Pyrenees, the Alps.
El Tour de Francia siempre es peligroso, siempre
Where
hay que estar
is going to be the
atento,
key
cualquier día
point
puedes
of
perder
this
las
tour?
opciones para general. Y la verdad que
Well, it's always
desde el
dangerous.
primer momento hay que estar atento.
We're going to have to be focused all the time. Everyone's waiting for the battle between yourself and Andy Schleck. What other riders do you fear out
Hay
there?
corredores muy fuertes y se merecen un respeto.
A lot of riders. He should have mentioned a French one at least then to ameliorate the crowd. Well, his team have gone, and it's a long walk. It's a heavy burden, and we'll see over the next Tour de France how he carries that burden. Prudhomme looking over. It's a nice presentation. It'll even be better over the next 3 weeks. Stefano saying, I hope we can guarantee or rely upon your support for this Tour de France throughout. The list is long. We have met 198 riders in 22 teams, just one of them rudely welcomed here. And thanks to everybody here. And Alberto Contador takes his leave here. Draw your own conclusions as to the crowd response here. We knew this was going to be a burden. Personally speaking, thought Alberto Contador may well have actually just decided not to take part in this year's Tour de France for the good of us all. But he is here. He is the defending champion, and the presumption of innocence remains until the Court of Arbitration for Sport decides upon his guilt or otherwise in August. Shame it had to come after the Tour de France, quite frankly. So there it is. We look forward to your company on throughout, indeed, this Tour de France here on Eurosport. David Harmon and Sean Kenny, of course, will be on the road. Myself, Colin Kirby, I will be dropping in and out throughout each and every day. The people of Puy de Fou, our launching pad for this year's Tour de France, have been here. Brian Smith also. Brian, any surprises? We did have a few surprises along the way. The unveiling of the teams, incidentally, is not set in stone until they actually walk out. Well, they finally did some surprises, but I think that as far as the main contenders are concerned, Brian, they're writ large, aren't they?
No, everybody's here. The top